Hey folks, we're back at upping the levels, this time in Sunken Temple, and our warrior has a Ravager. Let's see what sort of luck we two BLADESTORM buddies can get. Enjoy. Alright then, so we're just gonna jump off this here rotted pier and swim across the lake. We're gonna head down into the Sunken Temple, which is aptly named because it is a temple, and it is sunken. And this dungeon is, well, it's gonna be really fun. It may be in the middle of the Swamp of Sorrows, but this dungeon is anything but sorrowful. We're going to have lots of fun here because, well, this dungeon is labyrinthine in a vertical sense, which is uncommon for dungeons and can make for some interesting layout. And furthermore, there are lots of small mobs that we can go ahead and BLADESTORM to our heart's content. But first, we got to get into the dungeon. Right here, I checked my humanoid tracker, and oh, there is a rare or something, some kind of named unique mob here, which has no purpose other than being some kind of unique named mob. In any case, we are going to go ahead and kill it, just in case he drops something cool. I do believe he's a rare, but for now we got some stuff to kill. We're going to DZS on this here ooze, Rapture, and auto, and keep alternating attacks between that Sneck and this ooze, which for some reason my axe can harm, because that's how WoW works. Thank you, Blizzard. Very immersive. Anyway, this there are two targets here. I cannot hit that ooze anymore. This thing is in a really bad spot for me, but I'm gonna move over here, and now we're hunky-dory. We're going to progress into the middle of this room, and I believe the named mob is down that way, the way to our right. So I'm gonna mark that up for our group using our flare. And we're gonna kill some stuff so that we can go down that way, because we have stuff on us and we cannot proceed until it's dead, or until we run away screaming. But we're not going to do that. We are brave, boys. We are brave enough for this. So we have another opportunity to alternate attacks here, so we're going to do it. The rogue is DPSing that mob though, so we are most likely going to run out of ranged power before we run out of melee. That's usually how it works. And now that this one is by itself, our warrior can take it, and we'll step back to get a couple more shots off before we go ahead and trade our healer some water. I went ahead and got some 55 water for our healer so that we can spam drinks and progress at a breakneck speed. Why? Because that's the funnest way to do any instance, dungeon or raid. Now then, the mob should be just around this here corner. We're gonna go around and go right into a BLADESTORM because lucky proc. Turns out that he's actually quite weak. Or my BLADESTORM crits are taking him out very fast. In any case, he did not drop anything, so that was completely pointless, except for a couple more mobs of XP. But now we're on the right track. We're gonna head down this corridor, and we're going to get into the dungeon proper, just as soon as we clear out a few more of these here dead trolls, and also some soon-to-be dead trolls. This here is the last hallway we need to clear out before we get into the instance proper, so we're gonna make this quick. We got a 3-target multi-shot off, and I scattered that before it gets to our healer, but our rogue took care of it with a cheap shot. We'll break his gouge with our BLADESTORM, but he kindly kidney shots it so that we can BLADESTORM away without him dodging or parrying us. Now that he's broken out, we'll get the DZS into White Swing off to whittle that mob down a little bit more, and step out a little bit for some range weaving in order to finish this here fight. 3 down. A few more to go. We're going to continue down this here hallway, ranging simply for the moment, but we will ask our druid friend if she wants any water. Fortunately, she too has overstocked on a ridiculous amount of mage water, so we're all good. We're all good, we're all set. And if our healer happens to run out of 55 water, I always have a little bit more 45 to lend her. There's one mob here, but we will nonetheless go in and melee it just a little bit. Just a little bit. And it turns out that we get a Bladestorm here, so you know the rule. If we get a Bladestorm proc, we gotta pull something else. Gotta pull something else into the Bladestorm and hope for a little bit of damage. We did get one tick off for 298, that's good. We got the DZS into Wide Swing. We're gonna pop our Lily Root, because we do need to use those within the hour that they are summoned. And then we can go back to range and keep on ranging away on these here mummified Atal'alarion, which are undead, but are soon to be re-dead. That's about all for this outside the instance section. We just need to kill this one last guy, and then we can make a bolt for the instance entrance. Just as soon as he's dead, which he is right about now. I'm gonna concussive shot that guy on those stairs down, just to slow him down. I'm saving my scatter shot in case someone gets dazed. And it looks like we're all well and good. That mob over there did harass our healers, so I'll pull a little bit of thread on that, and then we'll dash inside. We're gonna head to the left first, the center left, so that we can get to the troll mini-bosses. Now, the troll mini-bosses are essential for completing the dungeon, because they are the ones projecting an impenetrable shield that protects their prophet, who, for some reason, has an impenetrable shield, probably to protect him from the green dragons, while he continues his summoning rituals to bring Hakkar back to life, or something of the sort. But we'll deal with Hakkar too. For now, though, we gotta get to the troll mini-bosses, so we're gonna pop an explosive trap off right there, and pop our battle check in too. And my multi-shot is off cooldown, but I did get a Bladestorm proc right here. There are lots of these packs on the level that we're going to. The packs with the elites and the non-elites. And the non-elites, don't be fooled. They have high HP, so they're, relative for a non-elite. So they're great Bladestorm flatter. Low damage, high HP. Great for the Bladestorms. Luckily, our healer is on point on the dispels, so we're going to be seeing quite a lot of that. Unfortunately, we cannot be saved if our Bladestorm is interrupted, but she will make sure that we can get back into the action as soon as possible. I fired off my multi-shot on 3 targets over there, and we're going to stay at range for the moment, after we drop an explosive trap in the melee. We want to take out those witch doctors because they do heal the non-elites and make them even beefier, which is not good unless you need something to have higher HP for, say, hoping for another Bladestorm proc. If it stays alive longer, you'll have more chances of proccing. But we're not Bladestorming right now. We're not trying for the Bladestorm just yet. Here's the first troll mini-boss. They're not very difficult. They sometimes drop a blue, and that could be pretty cool. But as you can see, there are green dragons below, and there are 5 more of those troll mini-bosses up on these balconies that we need to find, and we need to kill. We're gonna go in with some volley right here. I know that's kind of rare to see, but we are at a distance, so we should try to close it with something, with some damage over time. We got an explosive trap off, and we went right into the Bladestorm, so that was excellent AoE right there, thanks to RNG. Huzzah! And we're just gonna keep spinning to win, because you know the rule. If we are spinning, we will never stop. We will not stop until we drop, or until we stop. We'll not stop until we stop. You know what I mean? Until the proc runs out. We're gonna try again. We're gonna get the explosive trap out, or not, because feign death does not work. It's resisted or something. We'll substitute that explosive trap with a grenade. That'll do a little something, not much, but something. And we'll keep putting our multi-shot on cooldown, on as much as we can. A little mouse over multi and the DZS into Wide Swing right there. Now a little Rapture Strike and Scatter to mostly finish that mob off. Mostly. One more. And a Bladestorm proc on the end of the pull. Nice meme. Here we go on the next pack, and yet again we are going in with the volley, because we are at a distance. 2 of the mobs did come out of the pile though, so we lost a little bit of damage there, but we'll see what we can do to keep them together. I'm gonna go in on these guys, or strike through them, for the multi-shot real quick, before going in once again to the explosive shot. Weave out, auto shot, And, well, we don't really have time for the BLADESTORM right now. So I'll just get one more DZS off into some white swings. We'll keep alternating attacks, since there are 2 targets here, one on me, and one on the tank. Here's the second troll mini-boss, who is different from the last one, because I don't know what he does. He does the totem. Yeah, there it is. He does the totem, which our cat can take care of with his 39 tap. All the troll mini-bosses are different in their own regards, but we never really get the chance to see because they die so quickly. Anyway, we get most of our volley off here, and we are dazed, but we can wait out the daze by stopping to cast auto shot and multi-shot before moving in for an attempt to drop an explosive trap, but it does not work. That's fine, we have the dragon gun ready, so let's go right into it and burn all these suckers alive. It's a symphony of fire and death in here. Fire and blades. Weave out for one more multi-shot, but they're all dead after that. We're gonna run in nice and close, with Aspect of the Hawk enabled, so that we can get a little bit more damage when we weave out to fire off the multi-shot, as we do right here. And in the meantime, we'll try for the BLADESTORM, just as soon as I expend my volley. I only get a couple of ticks because I did have something on me. But we have so much water, it doesn't really matter. We might as well spend whatever we get. And there's the BLADESTORM on the very end of the pull. We got 1 tick, so I'm happy with that. And here we are on the 3rd troll mini-boss. There are quite a lot of these fellows, but I don't mind as long as we move along quickly. This dungeon can be a fantastic grind in the right group. Which we are grinding, actually. None of us really have any quests for this place, but there is one at the end of the dungeon that we'll see when we get there. We have dropped an explosive trap. Huzzah! And since I have a lot of aggro, I'll use grenades and I'll pop to turrets to take less damage before while I try for the BLADESTORM. After that pops, if it does, we'll take plenty more damage, but in the meantime we can save our healer some mana. We had to weave out there for the multi-shot, and it seems that we're still not getting procs. But that's alright, our group can finish everything off on their own. Multi-shot once again, little DZS Rapture, and we finally have the Feigned Death off cooldown again, so we drop that explosive trap to finish the fight. Pretty much. And here we go, approaching the 4th troll mini-boss, but first there's yet another of these packs outside of his room. Our Feigned Death is off cooldown, but first of all, we got a BLADESTORM, and secondly, you may have noticed that I was only doing white swings there, because I did want to regenerate a little bit of mana for the troll mini-boss. And you see, we're just going to keep getting procs here, and we're going to keep spinning to win. See, the rotation does not change. People may say the Ravager build is quite different, but no, not at all. See, just like with the range rotation, where you auto-shot an AFK, in this instance, we white swing an AFK. Same thing, except in melee. We have just enough mana for this troll mini-boss, so we're gonna go ahead and blow all of our abilities before this thing dies, so that we can get it to die faster. I did have Aspect of the Monkey up there, but I didn't really want to switch to Hawk. Not until now, anyway. We can finish that off with a Rapture, and progress on to the next pack. We've only got 2 more troll mini-bosses to kill, so we'll scattershot that one and go in and try for the BLADESTORM. It seems that our warrior is going ahead with his own. And here we go, we've got our own. Our warrior has an excellent taste in weapons, I think. Don't you? This is fun. It's fun to have 2 of these guys up in here. 2 of these axes. We've ran out of BLADESTORM, so we'll weave out for the multi-shot. Going for the Rapture swing, or an attempt to. It was dodged. And we'll finish something off with this here Death Ray. For doing the mouse over multi, going in for the Rapture Strike, which is dodged, I believe, and then dropping an explosive trap before we're going back out once again. Here we go in another pack, which is actually quite a large pack. And can you see why this instance is so fun? I love this. We're gonna get BLADESTORMs for days right here. We got 5 mobs. 3 of them are non-elite, but remember, they are a little bit beefy. They do have plenty of HP. So we're gonna keep getting procs, and we're gonna keep spinning to win. And it looks like our warrior is also having fun with his own. We got another proc on the very last tick. So we're gonna keep spinning. Me and the warrior right here. We're gonna keep spinning to win. Oh no! BLADESTORM was broken due to the hex. Feels bad, man, but most of the mobs are dead. The healer found it out a little bit too late, the solution to stopping the BLADESTORM. Here goes another 6 mob pull. One which I thought he was getting ready to pull, but actually he was headed into this here alcove in order to take on the next troll boss. In any case, we have a lot of aggro, so I've put out deterrents. I'm going to drop an explosive trap, I'm going to put out the grenade, and we'll hope our warrior takes aggro soon, but actually he's spinning to win at the moment. So we ain't got time for demo shout. We ain't got time for nothing, because we Ravagers are brothers in recklessness. But to help the healer, I will pop a potion. And our Feigned Death will be ready very soon, so we'll be able to let the proper tank resume his throne, assume his throne once again. His throne as the top of the threat meter, because we're not supposed to be there. We're not supposed to be tanking. The Ravager is not a tanking weapon. It's something else, because you cannot dodge or parry during BLADESTORM, so it's certainly not good for you. Not good for your HP. This here is yet another troll mini-boss, and we're almost done. We are almost done. We've got one more to kill before we can call it quits on this level. Our Feigned Death has failed, our explosive trap could not drop, and we did get good luck on the Crusader proc, but no BLADESTORM. So we've got to let our warrior go ahead and spin to win, as he's doing right now, and we'll in the meantime keep weaving out for that multi-weave. You know the one, the thing that we do. Our hybrid style DPS, and then we'll go ahead on this next pack with the big tough berserker boy. You know, the thing that shouldn't exist because it's way too buff to live. The Feigned Death being scuffed hecked me there. I was actually capable of dropping the explosive trap, but the delay to leaving combat was way too long. It's high time they fixed that, don't you think? It's pretty cruddy. Anyway, this one is the last one standing, and not for long, because we'll put out an auto shot at it. And there it goes, dead. We've dropped an explosive trap here on this pack of 4. And we'll try for the BLADESTORM, but if we don't get it, well, we gotta weave out for the multi-shot. Because that's how we keep our DPS high, even if we don't get any luck. We got a death ray popping, so I'll get rid of this here elite with it. Mostly. And then we'll move on to the final troll, mage, warlock thing. I don't know what these things are, but I did get a BLADESTORM, so even though it's single target, I do need to spin to win, because we cannot break it for anything. Oh, and it turns out that this one summons skeletons. Hello, Mr. Skellington. You have come at a nice time, where I can scattershot you, and stuff. Now we're gonna head down to the worm statues, where we can face a secret boss. Well, not really a secret boss, but another boss that we can summon just as soon as we get down there and clear out all the stuff in the way of the summoning ritual. Which we're doing right now, well enough on the stairs. I need to get a DZS off on these imps, which I do. And I'll leave them with an explosive trap to help them die a little bit faster. Another multi-shot, and a little Rapture strike there, and a little more White Sphinx before we move on to this next ring of combat. The ring around the statues, where there are lots of worms and small worms. Grubs. There are these big worms that are tall and scary, and then there are the small, somewhat delicate grubs, which are neutral but not really, because they do pull with the hostile worms. They do make good DZS fodder though, which I just did. We pulled one with Rapture, and then got it just in the right range for a little DZS. We gotta clear out the area around these here statues. And there are these oozes which split into smaller oozes, so we do want to kill this before the last tick of BLADESTORM. We don't quite get it, but that's fine. I can always drop an explosive trap, and that'll do. That'll do. This is not the right worm statue, and it does blast you with fire. if it does. I did suggest something in the chat. I suggested the order that it could potentially be, but I was actually dead wrong. It was the complete opposite of what I said. But don't worry, our faithful druid has the right pattern. These three are not in a great position for bladestorming, but they are in a nice position for something else. I'll go ahead and drop a grenade on this small group of grubs here, and we'll see what we can do to AoE a little bit more. How about an explosive trap, which does successfully go off. These elites will be the ones left standing. But not for long. As with all things, they fall before us. This is the second statue that we're clearing out right here, and this one has a lot of worms in it. They seem to be random, the areas by the statues. I'm not sure if there's a pattern to it, you know, which ones have the oozes and which ones don't. But I'm cool with whatever. As long as there are lots of mobs to cleave, I will have fun. And I hope you guys do too, because it is fun to be here with you guys. It would not be half as fun without you guys. We're going to keep clearing around the hall here, and you can see those neutral grubs going ahead and pulling, but don't worry, we have an explosive trap for them. And a bladestorm, as does our warrior. Our warrior has a bladestorm too. This is, we're bladestorm buddies. Spinning to win, for the win. Oh, that is so deliciously fun. And now we're at the third statue. Very easy, very fun, you see? Now if you don't have a Ravager or something, then you'll certainly want to bring a mage, or a warlock, or something that can AoE, because otherwise you're going to be stuck single targeting a lot of things. For some reason there's this random little ooze over there that should not be there. But it's dead now, and we have moved on to yet another pack of one elite and a whole bunch of small grubs. Our druid is going ahead with her hurricane, so we can go ahead with our multi-shot. But all the grubs are dead, so it was a single target multi-shot. Like I said, the grubs are quite delicate. Not quite like the Atal'alarion slaves on the other floor. No, they are small and squishy. They are squishy grubs. So if you squeeze them in your hand, they will pop. I don't recommend doing that, it is quite gross. And because of that, we do need reliable damage. We could try for the bladestorm before those oozes die, the big oozes, so that we have it ready for when the little oozes pop out, but if that does not happen, we must lean on more reliable damage. That being stuff like volley, or explosive trap, assuming feign death works. And if that does not work, we always have explosives, the goblin dragon gun. I did not have enough mana for the explosive trap there, but I do have the dragon gun, which did fail on me for the moment there, but we'll get it out now. We'll get it out on whatever is still alive. And there goes the big burb snick, which is actually a mini-boss all on its own, and it does happen to drop a BOP green for some reason. Because this is classic. This is really weird. And here we go, we get a bladestorm proc on the very last mob, but it is an ooze, so it does split into the smaller mobs. So that was a good bladestorm. We had fun with it. I will accept that. Thank you very much, RNG. Here we go, clearing out yet another statue, or the area around yet another statue. And it seems that someone has gotten a very lucky proc right there to have it go out on those grubs. Like I said, you want to rely on reliable damage in the case where you have lots of small squishy mobs, because they will die quickly and you cannot bet on RNG to give you the proc that you need at that exact time. Sometimes it can happen, but it cannot be expected. Right now is a fantastic time. Our druid's hurricane has gone out, softening them up a little bit. Not that they are not already soft, but we have gotten a couple of good bladestorm ticks out, and now we can go ahead and mouse over multi into a Rapture strike, which was parried, but this thing is just about dead anyway, so it's cool. Here's yet another statue, and we have our battle chicken, which is off cooldown yet again. We have to keep summoning the battle chicken because it can buff our rogue and warrior for 4 minutes or so. The battle squawk, it buffs their melee attack speed, which will be very helpful for them, and coincidentally for us, simply because of our build. But we're doing it mostly for them. Now we're all ready, so we're gonna light up these lights. We're gonna light up the statues, and the puzzle will be completed. And now there's a boss down there. There's a certain order to this, and we'll see exactly how we find out that order in a moment. For now, we got this here boss to kill, because that's what lighting up the statues does. It summons this guy, who can drop some neat items for warriors, so perhaps your warrior friend would want him. Our feigned death was resisted, so we're stuck in melee for the moment, at least until our warrior breaks out the mocking blow and the taunt. A little bit redundant, but it enabled us to get the aim shot out on the tail end of rapid fire, and that was good. We're gonna finish this guy off with a little death ray smite and a raptor strike into a raptor strike, which hit quite hard, as you could see. Now all we have to do is go back upstairs and clear out those green dragons and the remainder of the trolls. But first we gotta clear out this pack on the way. I'll drop a grenade while we have some grubs here, but perhaps I should have waited, as it seems that our druid pulled a few more worms from down by the other altar. Our warrior or someone said that they needed to touch the altar, but he was talking about the small one up here, not the one down there in the water. Because for some reason it's big and it's a big flashy centerpiece, but it's not significant for any purpose. We're gonna drop an explosive trap here, and then we'll see what we can do about the dragon gun just as soon as we pop off the multi-shot. However, it does appear that on this incline, the dragon gun doesn't quite hit the targets when they're pulled up a little bit too far. So, I don't know, maybe that is a problem with conal AoE attacks. But for future reference, make sure that you stand on the same stair and face horizontally towards them, not vertically. That should have your dragon gun hit everything. We only have one more worm left to kill over here. And then we're going to touch that altar ourselves, because there is something neat to see about it. See, it says some stuff. Let's read this real quick. The ancient altar of Hakkar stands silently near the entrance to the room. Looking to the balconies above it, you notice a large serpent-like statue rests on each. The statues look very much like the ones on the altar before you. They must be related in some way. But how could the altar and the statues be related? Well, one bright light appears across the room, then disappears. Then you notice another beam, and then another. They seem to be showing you a pattern. So, if you don't know the pattern, then that should show you what the pattern is, assuming it's scripted correctly. And you know what? I'll give Official Classic this. The scripting on events and everything has been very nice thus far. All the quests appear to be working, and I mean, the scripting on events specifically. I should emphasize that. Feigned Death is scuffed. It needs work, Blizzard. Please fix it. But events, like the ones in any dungeons, they seem to work flawlessly, in my experience thus far. So I'm quite pleased with that, and I do have to give Blizzard props for that. Anyway, let's move on. We have cleared the way to the stairs, and we are going to ascend them now, giving pack to our group so that they can get up faster, assuming that they don't run headfirst into one of the patrolling mobs that happen to be walking up and down the stairs, like this one right here. But they're few and far between, so they're fine. But however, we're going to face the mightiest boss now. Behold, we have aggroed a snake, but we are out of mana, so we are quite dead, unless we get an iterate from our druid. Does she have it? Oh no! Guess I'll die. Alright, let's move on to the dragons. Here we go, we're gonna get a volley off, or at least a few ticks of it. And that'll do. That'll do for the moment. Now I'm gonna try for the BLADESTORM, after I put down the explosive trap, as usual. And we are quite so I will put up the mana potion. We do have a few of those to pop, so we might as well pop them, right? And lo and behold, we have acquired the BLADESTORM proc, which lasted only so long, but was nonetheless tremendously appreciated. I do want to get away from one of these guys so that I can do a DZS. And that works. A DZS Rapture on that whelp to do a little bit more damage to it. But it's stuck to me like glue. I can't quite get another ranged attack off on it. Said now though. Now we're on to the next pack of whelplings and dragonkin, which hopefully we can bladestorm once again. Because these packs, all the packs in this dungeon seem to be a couple of elites and a whole bunch of non-elites, which makes them tremendously fun for this sort of build. And indeed, we do get a bladestorm proc right after the dragon gun. There are only so many whelps left, but they take a couple of hits from our bladestorm before they go down. I will accept any proc at all. I can have a chuckle at the one on the end of the pull, and I can appreciate one in the middle of a whole bunch like that. Seems our warrior got a lucky proc right there and wound up with a whole bunch of stuff. We have successfully dropped an explosive trap, but it will not compare to our warrior's Ravagering, because as we know, the Ravager is mighty. It is mightier than the volley, it is mightier than the explosive trap, and we can only do so much to compete. I am not the least bit envious. I celebrate any and all bladestorm procs. Even if it's not mine, I can live vicariously through him and appreciate the damage that he puts out. Now then, we're moving on to this here pack in the corner, and you might be asking, hey, why are we clearing this? Well, it's because the final boss will pull every single pack in existence as long as they are existing. So we need to kill every single dragon before we go after the big dragon, because thanks Blizzard. Thanks for hacking up your non-linearity. They're dying pretty quick though. We're gonna get a couple of ticks of Volley-Off. And we'll go in and Rapture Strike this one. Finish it off. Oh, and we got a bladestorm proc on the very end of the pull. Nice meme, Ravager. Now we are heading on to the next pack. We'll hopefully get a proc sooner. First we're gonna drop that there explosive trap. Our druid is hurricaning away. We are having no luck on the procs yet. We're gonna weave out for the multi-shot. We'll go back in for a bladestorm, which does proc. There's only one mob left though, so that saddens me, but I am grateful for any proc whatsoever. Here we are on another pack of green dragons. We're gonna mouse over multi right here because we gotta cleave that multi-shot into the dead zone, and we'll do it again on this here whelp. We'll pull it off our healer by shooting it enough, and there we go. We bring it close enough for the DZS, and sadly, feign death being scuffed, it worked, but the combat, we entered it again, so we have no explosive trap this time. That's fine. I am telling myself it is fine, so that I can continue to talk calmly and be serene. Besides, we now have a bladestorm, and we are happy about that, aren't we? Anyway, we're moving on here to the next pack, where hopefully we'll have a little bit more luck. We're gonna open with a volley, after the multi-shot of course, and we're gonna get a few more ticks off thanks to this thing stopping to cast. Now we're gonna go in and we'll try to drop that explosive trap, and that certainly works. And it better work. We got a Holy Strength proc, we got the Crusader, but we have no bladestorm. We at least can benefit from a higher Rapture Strike crit thanks to that proc. And a grenade can help out. Multi-shot is off cooldown, so we'll fire it into the dead zone here. And use a scatter shot to get a little bit more in. Now we're on the trolls. And these guys, well, they tend to be very slow and very annoying to a lot of groups. But don't worry, we're going to make every single pull fun, because we are going to weave. We're going to weave in and out. We're going to make the most of our multi-shot, our quick burst combo. And these ghosts, or sorry, these Death Walkers will turn into ghosts, and they'll hunt down our healer. So we need to, well, our healer needs to stay away from them. We cannot affect them at all, not unless we, say, mend our pet or something. Our healer's just gonna have to run around them and disregard their presence entirely, as long as she's nowhere near them. In the meantime, we can go ahead and kill more trolls. which are right here. There are only 2 here. And it seems that someone is feared. But never fear, we we have dispels. So all is well. All is well when we have dispels and dead trolls, which we're about to have more of right now. Just as soon as this here caster comes back to the other 2 right here. Although I'm not sure he will. Not before our rogue goes ahead and DPS's him anyway. Honestly, I could pull that back, but I'm more focused on fighting these guys over here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna shoot at that one. Swing at that one. Shoot and swing. Swing away, Nilf. Swing away. And they're getting closer. We can just about get the DZS off. They're in just the right position, so let's take advantage of that. The skeletons are oddly beefy for being what they are. There's another scuffed feigned death, which is truly, truly unfortunate, because we like to get our explosive traps off. Without our explosive traps, whatever shall we do? Oh well. Let's multi-shot to kill that other skeleton, and Rapture strike this one, and scatter also for the finishing blow. Scattershot does hit respectably hard, actually. It's half as much as an auto shot. So as long as you have a nice slow weapon, and there's another scuffed feigned death. Thank you, Blizzard. I'm very grateful. Ah, here we are. We have a Bladestorm, so my rage is quelled for the moment. I will expend it all in the whirlwind of fire and, well, just death. Not quite fire and death. And there we go with a second proc. My multi-shot is off cooldown, but I'll need to wait to use it as soon as this Bladestorm stops happening. Now then, we can Rapture strike before we go out. And, well, I could have chained across all 3 vulnerable targets there if I hit the one on me. Scattershot, go away, and then fire off the multi-shot. But the other 2 were very close to death. I did not think I had the time. That time, I hit 2 targets before they separated. That's good. And we're just about done with this painful troll room, where there are not large packs of a couple of elites and lots of non-elites. We're almost done. We have another Bladestorm that'll help us speed along our way. And once all the rest of these trolls are dead, we can go ahead and fight their leader, the Prophet himself, who does happen to have some mind control abilities, but fear not, worry not, we have our death ray prepared to deal with whoever defects. Assuming it isn't me. We only have a couple of packs left, and there's one all the way over there, so we're going to alternate attacks a little bit. We're going to, a little bit too far for that multi-shot to go off properly, but we'll try and bridge the gap here. Assuming one of them just comes a little bit closer, if that ghost comes over here, we can bridge the gap with... never mind. The skeleton spawned, so there were 3 targets anyway. No bridging the gap here. There we go. Well, mostly. It chained onto the ghost, not the last one there. Maybe if I waited a moment for that ghost to despawn, but I never know how long they're going to stay up for, you know? They might be up for a few more seconds, and then that other mob is dead. So, you know, gotta be attentive to that kind of thing. The ghosts are great practice for weird positioning, hacking up your multi-sync. These last few trolls are the only ones that are left. And then after these guys are dead, actually we do have someone with the Egg of Hakkar. And if you don't know what that event is about, well, we'll see. You'll see. We'll have fun, promise. There goes the last Deathwalker. And now we're on to the Prophet. We're gonna pop our rapid fire off. And we're gonna crit like mad on him. My goodness. Oh no, but it seems that I'm transforming into something hideous. I must flee. I must go. My people need me. Okay. Or not. Blizzard, come now. I complimented you earlier on your scripting, and yet this happens now. Goodness gracious. Always find some excuse to heck up my compliments. And, well, here's another event that's going on. We've got a couple of green drakes that fly in. They actually use their wings to fly over the ground. And the drakes are kind of tough, actually. They have knockback. They have some weird poison spit. It's pretty gross. But we'll make them significantly less threatening by shrinking one. It's fun. And luckily their hitboxes are still quite large, so we were able to get the DZS off right there. We'll feign this one off, and I'll leave an immolation trap there just in case I happen to pull aggro again. And these guys are also immune to Serpent Sting, so we can't multi-dot. But we can multi-cleave. So, that'll work. And here comes Rapture coming back to my side. And there is actually a reason for that. You see, the bosses, the mini-bosses, whatever these are, knock the tank up onto the little ledge over there. So the bosses might evade for a moment, even like a split second. And that will cause your pet to come back to your side. So you gotta be attentive to that. Send your pet back in. Unlike how I normally am. Because I just want a BLADESTORM. I'm just having fun, and look at this. The evade just restored so much of its HP. And Rapture gotta be sent in again, but he's going down again. He's gonna die. And then we can move on. And look at that. He happened to drop a blue. They do sometimes drop blues. They don't do it all the time. But sometimes they can drop something cool. We gotta get that thing off our healer, so I'll, my BLADESTORM! Dang it. Oh, hey, we got another one. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much, RNG. RNG obviously heard my cry of despair, and it could not bear to leave me in pain any longer. RNG is sympathetic to my cause sometimes, and sometimes it's quite cruel. And our warrior also had some fun there, so it was fun for everyone. I tried to chain multi across 3 targets there, 2 elites and 1 of the non-elites, by aiming at the far one, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too far for the chain to occur, so we only hit 1 target with that multi-shot, but our dragon gun was ready, so we're popping it off right here. We're popping it off, and we're gonna try for the, well, I guess it's a little bit too late for the BLADESTORM, ain't it? The whelps are too low, but we can DZS. And I can go ahead and swing away at these here whelps. I'll drop an explosive trap. Might as well while they're almost dead. We have infinite drinks, so it's cool. Or practically infinite. Because there are quite a lot of them that I happen to have with me. We got that off our healer and chained it onto the far ones at the same time. No feign death that time, or rather no explosive trap. We attempted feign death, but the dragons are too wily and crafty. They're too smart. That green does not mean that their minds are moldy. It means that they are fresh, like a spring morning. There are only a couple of mobs left, so we gotta stay at range. And we'll keep on multi-shooting from where we are. We popped off a scattershot on that mob in an attempt to finish it off. Because again, scattershot is a helpful finisher. You can use it instantly between your auto shots. And now we have these burb snicks. These flappy zappers. These danger noodles. To pursue into the next room. Rapture will growl on this one. And then we'll stutter step this way. We'll continue shooting out with it. And we'll have Rapture go that way. And in the meantime, I'll start my burst on this one because our warrior now has it. Now we can move on to the next target, and I'll make sure that Rapture has growled in this one before sending him at the next one. He has growled, so we'll start our aim shot, and it should go up right about the time we can use multi-shot on both targets. We'll scattershot that right there for our tank, which does work. And we'll smack this one with the Raptor. and we'll keep swinging away at it for the moment. It was a fun little chain pull, but we're about to go into a much bigger chain pull because this here is the Egg of Hakkar boss. Or rather, the Shade of Hakkar. You see, our warrior, or whoever just popped that, has a quest to summon the Shade of Hakkar to this world so that we can kill him. So we're going to do that. And the way that we complete this event is we kill these burb snicks when they appear. We take their blood, and then we put out one of those torches with it, because no one has any water, apparently. Anyway, so these burb snicks are the elites. There are a whole bunch of non-elite snicks that show up. And then there are also some dragonkin, which will attempt to stop the ritual should they appear. And they will. So we must defeat all comers, the Hakkari snecks and burb snecks, and these here green dragonkin, which frankly are innocent bystanders who are just trying to help us out. And I'm surprised no one grabbed that. But that's okay, I'll send my cat over there as soon as I can. As soon as I'm done breathing fire, or shooting fire, on all these here snecks, and Rapture will take care of this. We can't really move because we have the BLADESTORM. But I see a multi-shot opportunity. But I was wrong because it only hit one target, the burb snick. The hitbox was not quite as large as I suspected. Now we can hit them both. It seems that the snicks have everything on this fight has a very small hitbox, a much smaller hitbox than one would suspect. One might suspect, given their size. A couple of the torches are out, so we only have so much more to go before the spirit of Hakkar is finally summoned to this world in totality. And we will then slay him, and we'll also be ready to death ray whoever gets mind controlled, because he too has a mind control mechanic. Because this is Sunken Temple. The trolls are only trying to help Hakkar because they are, well, I think the ones in Zul'Gurub are unwilling, but the ones here in Sunken Temple might actually be doing this on purpose. For what purpose, one can only guess. But it's not my problem, because, well, we're solving it in either case. We got one BLADESTORM proc, but there weren't too many snecks around, so there wasn't really too much I could do with it. That's fine, we'll leave an explosive trap in the middle here, and we'll keep popping off our multi-shot whenever we possibly can, while attempting for another one. These are in a nice line, so we can chain between them. And we'll keep these ones in the hurricane while we fire off another DZS. Or attempt to. That multi-shot only hit that one target. Like I said, the hitbox is way smaller than it might appear. So we're gonna keep experimenting with it, and we'll learn our way around it. We will adapt. We are the hunter. We adapt. That is what we do. We'll leave another explosive trap right there. And in the meantime, another burb snick has spawned. In fact, I believe that is the last burb snick. So we'll make sure that we focus on killing it. And in the meantime, we'll try for procs on these here snacks, because, hey, we got a BLADESTORM. Because we gotta kill them too. All the snacks need to die. Except for my snack. I love my snack. I would never harm my snack. Sorry, Druid, I've gotta pull those out for the DZS. But I'll bring them back in for before dropping my explosive trap. Thank you for your patience. Now the Shade of Hakkar is here, but he will not aggro onto us until after these non-elites are dead, because apparently they're too much for us to handle during the fight. It's just so difficult. Alright, here we go. Let's drop a trap before the fight starts. There we go. Now we'll go straight into the rapid fire, and we'll be on the lookout. Hang on, let me shrink this guy. I'll feign him off. And there's the MC. There's the MC. Death ray, go. Oh no! The priest dispelled it. The priest is too fast on those dispels. I could not even get a death ray off. Well played. Well played. Anyway, we're going to continue along here. We only got a couple more burb snakes to kill. As much as I dislike killing my burb snake friends, well, at this time we are foes, and I will test you in combat. And now here we are with the green dragons. Once again, back with our lovable green dragon friends. Dropping the explosive trap, using the multi-shot, and trying for that BLADESTORM, that coveted BLADESTORM. Just as soon as I finish off these other two that are very low on HP. But now there are only two left, so there's not too much to do with BLADESTORM here. Let's just cheetah away. Cheetah away towards the next target. We can pop off the aimed auto multi-auto here, or aimed auto multi-raptor. And that did quite a lot of damage to that single target. We'll feign all the aggro off, drop the explosive trap, and we'll try to keep alternating attacks as best we can while we attempt for the BLADESTORM here. But things are dying pretty fast. We're not having quite the luck that we had earlier on in this dungeon. Not on this pull. But that's okay, because we still have our multi-shot to fire off on cooldown. To keep on cooldown whenever it happens to come off. This is the only pack of pure non-elites in the entire instance, I believe. It's all the dragon whelps. And I suppose that's good, because the next foes we're fighting are super elites. They're bosses. They're boss fights. And once we fight them, we can clear out the final boss in this dungeon and be done with it. These two also have similar mechanics to before. They do the knockback, and whoa! Talk about a knockback. He's on our healer now, but now our rogue seems to have him. So our priest is gonna keep going, doing what she's doing. And now that they're close together, we can multi-cleave. I am not going to use rapid fire. I'm not going to use my death ray. We do need it for the final boss, or rather, it would be preferable to have them available for the final boss, because Eranikus is actually fairly tough to kill. But we'll see when we get to him. There is a skull target up, so we should focus on one of these guys at a time. And only cleave on the other one. Because they are tough elites. It would be preferable to have one of them out of the way as soon as possible, and then the other one will fall much more easily. If they enraged or something when their friend died, that would be a different story. But they don't, so easy peasy. Now we're on to Eranikus. And he has an undispellable sleep that he puts in the main tank. So we're going to be dealing with that. We're going to pop off the rapid fire. We're going to go straight into the aimed shot. And we'll do what we can to thread up. We'll also shrink him a little bit. And maybe that'll last us a good long while. That'll last us for the sleep that our tank is going through right now. The sleep that the boss put him under. The boss hits quite hard, even being shrunken down like this by the gnomish tech. I'm kind of surprised it works on bosses like this. It's kind of funny to see. But anyway, the sleep has finally fallen off. As our priest said, it cannot be dispelled. So hopefully our druid is able to take aggro after this time, because my deterrence is down. I've put the death ray out, and the boss is back to normal size, so I've taken quite a bit of damage here, but our healer needs to handle it. That's just what she has to do. I've left an immolation trap under the boss, so that will help tick away at it. I don't have any more useful gadgets to throw out there, but I am going to pew pew. I do have my crossbow, and if you count that as a useful gadget, if you count the pew pew, the pew pewer, as the useful gadget, then it certainly is the only thing that I have left. And since our druid is able to tank while our tank is asleep, we are able to range DPS just fine. He's just about dead, and at a good time too, because we're running quite low in mana. I'm just going to auto-shot away. We'll pop off a multi-shot before he's finished. We did let a little bit of mana regeneration go, and that worked. Okay. And the helm, horns of Eranikus. Hang on. Ah, those are not his horns. Come now, they're not nearly as ridiculously large as they are on his head. So that almost wraps up this dungeon run. The boss dropped a thing, which we looted, and we need to do the quest for. Let's check this out. As you touch the gem, a deep voice resonates in your mind. Mortal, heed this plea. I am Eranikus of the Green Dragonflight, keeper of this accursed temple. My charge to ensure that the trolls never again bring forth their abomination of a god has for now ended in failure. As I imbue this gem with part of my essence, I sense my grip on the dream twisting into chaos. Please, place this gem into the essence font in my lair, and let our magic there purge the taint from my psyche so that I may rest. As you near the essence font that Eranikus told you of, his voice once again touches your mind. Yes, mortal, this essence font will redeem what untainted element of my psyche remains imbued in this gem. Place the gem in the font, and let the magic of the green dragonflight cleanse the corruption and taint from my being. Only then will I find true release, and only then will the dragonflight be able to reassert their stewardship over the Atal'alarion. You place the gem inside the essence font. Thank you, mortal. You have... No, this cannot be. No! The corruption of this accursed god even taints the sanctity of a green dragonflight essence font. No, please, I feel my essence ripping from me. The pain! I feel the grip of an eternal nightmare taking hold on me. Mortal, I implore you, find one of the green dragonflight to stop this. Help me! I am chained in darkness, forever in agony. Please, do not torture. But this is worth 64 silver, almost 65. I kinda need the money, so sorry, I'm just gonna put that in there and you'll be okay. We'll see you again during the AQ40 chain. Okay, bye. Actually, if you plan to get the scepter, if any of you out there are looking to become a Scarab Lord, make sure you hold on to that chained essence of Eranikus. If I remember correctly, we do actually need it for something during the chain, so just throwing that out there for your information. Anyway, that about wraps up this run of Sunken Temple. I love this dungeon, and I hope you loved tonight's run through it. If you did, then I'd appreciate you showing me with a like down below. Share this episode too if you don't mind. The more the merrier, I say. If you haven't already, it would help me immensely if you were to subscribe and click that bell icon down below so you never miss another upload. I love bringing content to you guys, and I hope you love seeing it just as much. Check the description for more links, and a skip list, and, as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!